come back on 2 more such announcements sooner. So yes, that is a continuing process. The interaction with the industry and other stakeholders are continuing, and we shall be a responsive government. We shall come back with measures that are asked by the various groups.
Will you expect there to slow down the economy? If yes, why? And if not, then what are the bright spots of the economy?
Well, the first question, the first point is derived from your second observation. Globally, if you compare economies and their growths, we still are the fastest growing. And when industries approached us saying there are issues that they are facing, we also wanted to recognize that consumption will have to be given a boost. And therefore, from the budget announcements onwards, our consultations have been with industries. And particularly to understand consumption and boosting of consumption-related matters, we had announced even in the budget that public spending on infrastructure will continue to be, like the way it was between 2014 and 19, will continue to be our priority. We shall be spending considerable amounts for infrastructure building. And for that, post the budgetary announcement, I even went to the extent of saying some of the milestones in the expenditure, in the public expenditure for infrastructure, can even be brought forward. This I remember saying in one of the interactions with the CIA business leaders. But post that, we've had interaction with various industry groups, automobiles, banks, NBFCs, investors, home buyers, and so on. So in response to all of their meetings with us, last Friday I made one set of announcements. So we'll see as it goes.
Good evening, ma'am. CNBC Awaaz. A very warm welcome to all of you. My first question is related to the answer on the thanks to this question. In response to that, you just said that you will be announcing the next installment of measures this week. I believe it's on track. So will this new set of measures be for home buyers and real estate?
You'll hear when I announce it.
Hello, madam.
Another question, ma'am. Would you please clarify how much is stuck in GST refunds? Because so far the CBIC has maintained that nothing much was stuck.
Are you asking specific to this region or otherwise? But even then, I'm not giving any numbers per se, but very clearly last Friday's announcement was that every GST refund, which has been pending since whenever, will all be cleared in the next 30 days. And anything that arises as a refund from now will be cleared within 60 days. So we have very clearly committed ourselves for the refund to be given in time.
Hello, madam. Market में जो financial position down चल रहा है, इसका बारे में आपको study किया है?
Financial position का मतलब क्या है?
Financial position जो developer में जो position जो down चल रहा है.
नहीं, what is financial position? Can you explain what you mean by that?
Market में जो आपको जो पहले जो जैसे market में position था finance का अभी down चल रहा है, इसका कोई
मैं समझ नहीं पा रही हूँ. I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean market position. Specifically, if there's something you can tell me, I can answer.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi today launched a massive campaign called the Feed India Movement, and while attacking the Feed India campaign, opposition, particularly the Congress party, has said that this is unfit government. I quote them. They have said that unfit government, unfit economy. As the finance minister of this country, how do you react to this attack of the opposition?
No, I think I don't want to react because we've had them speak about the economy who ran an economy with double-digit inflation through the 10 years that they were in power. They didn't control that which basically affects the common man, which is prices. Prices were skyrocketing during their time. Scandal after scandal, even in the allocation of basic endowments of this country, example coal. Example 2G. Today you see the phones are there in everybody's hand. They couldn't control prices. They led the country in corruption. They led the country in exploiting public assets. Corruption was there in every one of what they did. And in fact, during the campaign, I remember, even in 2013-14, it was it was said by every party, corruption in the sky, corruption in Akash, corruption in Dharti, corruption in under the Dharti, and so on. There was nothing left without corruption during their time. If managing economy was corruption, if managing the economy was to have skyrocketing inflation, they mastered it. So to talk about fit or unfit is not for the Congress. They have not learnt the lessons of a defeat in 2013-14 and a defeat in 19 again because of their bad practices. I am saying it with utmost humility. The people of India have told them what they think of them. I wish the Congress party can introspect.
Madam, on your left.
Ma'am, anything specific to Northeast, was it discussed today, interaction?
Where?
During today's interactions?
With the trade body?
Yeah, anything that's really
Yes.
specific to Northeast?
Yes, it was mostly specific to Northeast. In fact, I must say, it was less on the GST and income tax and more on the development, the replacement for the NEIPP scheme which existed, meaning the scheme based on the industrial policy promotion for this region, which is done through the Department of Industrial Promotion and Internal Trade, now called as DPIIT, which was earlier called as DIPP. Questions related to the subsidy being given for industrial promotion, questions being related to the previous policies, commitments, they were fairly mentioned by many people.
Was there any consensus?
No, each one mentioned the issues related to these, which I will certainly duly convey to the Department of Industries.
Ma'am, on your left. Madam, Judy from PDI. My question is about this current state of economy, and that we all know that it has slightly slowed down. It is the fastest growing economy, but it has slightly slowed down the growth. The recent RBI state giving about 1.7 lakh crore to the government reserves, and this announcement of the FDI schemes in some of the key sectors. How do you see that this economy moving ahead in the next couple of quarters? When do you see that we will be again back on the track? And this specific amount from the RBI, in which are the particular areas that the government is looking to invest those amounts? And one more thing that about the
No,
RBI.
1 minute. Let me finish with the first set of questions that you've asked me. See, the announcement last Friday was in response to the various sectors which asked for specific things which they thought would improve their condition. Like, so if it was NBFCs and bank related matter, they wanted for certain NBFCs more liquidity to be available so that they can further lend to people who want to buy cars, houses, or scooters or commercial vehicles or anything else. So from among the NBFCs, the non-banking financial companies, there were various different problems which were all plaguing them. Some were issues related to governance, some were issues related to solvency of those NBFCs, some were related to their own liquidity, the velocity of the liquidity that they were having, and some were genuinely affected for want of liquidity. So for them, we have announced release of further funds through the banks that will go, and that should take care of movement of further liquidity till the end consumer. Like that, the automobile sector, when they met us, also said that because of the transition between the Bharat Stage 4 to Bharat Stage 6, without touching Bharat Stage 5, and because there is a Supreme Court order which said by 31st March 2020, all Bharat Stage 4 vehicles should be stopped from production or registration. So the Supreme Court order 2 years ago itself, the government then and I remember the Surface Transport Ministry very clearly announced, saying from March 31st onwards, from 1st April onwards, Bharat Stage 6 will come in. And because of that, there is a sluggishness in the automobile purchases. Because of that and many other such reasons. So when the automobile sector met us and told us their problems, we've in the last Friday's announcement come out with specific announcement which will benefit the automobile sector. So, and also one of the main announcements was not only that we'll entertain not just the EVs but all vehicles, and for buying of all the vehicles, the purchase when made this year till March 2020 will be able to derive another 15%, additional 15% depreciation charge. So taking the total of depreciation to 30%. So like that, various measures were announced for each of the sector. I've given you an example of one or two, but these were the ways in which I think respective sectors will be reviving, and the response from the government is in response to the demands that they have made, not that we've sat and decided on some things. It was very much responding to what they wanted us to do. And on the Reserve Bank, yes, the formulation was arrived at by the committee which was set up by the Reserve Bank, the committee which was headed by Sri Bimal Jalan, and the amounts were then decided by the Reserve Bank based on the formulation which was arrived by the committee. As to where exactly this amount is going to be used will be a call which the government will take, and at that time I'll be able to tell you. But this minute on that, not yet.
But when do you expect that economy to be back on track?
May not be possible for me to say now.
This question is very specific to Northeastern region. There is an apprehension out here in some quarters after Article 370 has been abrogated that scheduled tribes will be taxed, which they are not now. So any thing on this?
I don't know where this is emanated from. None of us have any clue. And if we don't have clue, I mean, there is nothing happening in Delhi about it. So I don't know where this has come from. There's no such a thing.
Ma'am, in the budget, you spoke of relaxing FDI norms for aviation and insurance sector. But in the questions announced yesterday, these announcements did not find mention. So when can we expect follow-up?
See, most of such questions, when you ask me, when can you? I may not be able to tell you when I will, but when I come, I will come. And you'll get to know at that time.
And GDP numbers are going out tomorrow. The market is expecting 5.6 to 5.6%. Is that a fair estimate?
You'll hear that tomorrow, won't you? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
तो निर्मला सीतारमन और ये जो पूरी उनके प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस का दौर है, ये उनका प्रोग्राम है जहां पर वो जाके अलग अलग इंडस्ट्री रिप्रेजेंटेटिव से मिल रही हैं। जो गुवाहाटी में थी कुछ एक दो दिन पहले जब हमने उनको सुना तो वो पुणे में थी, तो आज भी उन्होंने बहुत सारे सवालों के जवाब दिए और उन्होंने कहा कि इंडस्ट्री की जो सहूलियत है, जो कारोबार की ज़रूरत है, उसके हिसाब से सरकार काम कर रही है। ऑटो सेक्टर के लिए अहम फैसले ले चुकी है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर एक बड़ा खर्चा सरकार करने जा रही है। हर लिहाज से वो माहौल को ऐसा बनाना चाहती है जिसमें कारोबार और तमाम चीज़ों को आसानी हो, तरक्की हो, और जो एक जो थोड़ी सी पसंद महसूस हो रही है अर्थव्यवस्था में, वो तुरंत हम उससे बाहर निकले और बेहतर कारोबार की तरफ हम कदम बढ़ाएं, अच्छी अर्थव्यवस्था की तरफ कदम बढ़ाएं। छोटा सा ब्रेक।
Cast 24 में होगा